So this afternoon, as we prepare for a big clash in the Ray Nephew Jamaica Premier League, and it's second against third, with the defending champions in play. Mount Pleasant hosting Tivoli Gardens, who with a victory will leapfrog them and go into second spot. It's a tight league, especially at the top, so every point counts, and every time you drop points, that will also count. One confirmed result so far in match week number 19, and you saw it a little bit earlier. Done beholden, they ran away with it late. 4-1 the scoreline, flattering them in the end, one suspects. And Limehall, they just can't get out of the rut, and we'll highlight the rut for you. There they are at the bottom of the standings, 14 out of 14 teams behind Treasure Beach. It seems as it's a formality now that those two teams will be relegated from the Jamaica Premier League this season. Up top, Cavalier with the best defensive record as well. Mount Pleasant in second spot. Tivoli, as I mentioned before, in third. Could go to second with victory this afternoone. Portmore, Gardens and Dun Beholden, who are now in the top six. Mind you, at least for the next couple of hours, let's see how Waterhouse will respond. They have Arnett Gardens at 4 o'clock. As far as the head-to-head is concerned, I can tell you that Tivoli Gardens, they have never beaten Mount Pleasant over 90 minutes in the Jamaica Premier League, and they're hoping to do so for the first time today. It is going to be a tough proposition. The one win that they had over Mount Pleasant was, of course, in the third place playoff, and they actually won via a penalty shootout. So yeah, they haven't been able to get the better of Mount Pleasant. And of course, earlier this season, it was a 1-0 win courtesy of Mount Pleasant in Kingston. Kimoni Bailey, the difference maker on that occasion. Yeah, the cold front has exited Jamaica. It's still now back to our regular scheduled programming. Warm weather, and I'm sure the players will feel it this afternoon. But I tell you what, it is going to be a hot match regardless, Dwight Jeremiah. And we are looking forward to the second against third.
Yeah, regular schedule. I have to touch that one. Yeah, good to have you back here as well with us in the box. But yeah, definitely the biggest clash of this round, and it's going to be massive, massive, massive here, and a big task. But if there's ever a time that Tivoli will feel like they can get that first win over Mount Pleasant, it would be now, because of their current form. I mean, 1 loss in their last 10 encounters, 2 drawn games, 7 wins. It's almost like they've flown under the radar somewhat in terms of just creeping up into that position.
The last time these two teams met, it turned out to be a really physical game. Mount Pleasant got the better of them. We've seen Mount Pleasant look a little bit shaky in the last couple of match days. They were in imperious form at the start of the league, and for a while we thought they were just going to run away with it, with the momentum of them being crowned champions last season and strengthening their squad and starting off so strongly. But they've withered away a little bit. Hasn't really affected them as far as them being too much outside of the top two, but they look a little bit vulnerable right now. Yeah, certainly, especially the way they go about starting games. Their last 2 games, they've conceded, having to come from behind. One against Malines, where it was a 90-plus minute strike from McCullough, their saviour. Eternal saviour, one would say, that brought them a point from that game. And the last game as well had to come from a goal behind to win that one by 2 goals to 1. So yeah, it's not smooth sailing. They've been getting the results. Theodore Whitmore says he's not too perturbed because yes, the form in terms of their playing on the park is not so easy on the eye, but he's getting the results. So if he can have a dip in form and still get the results, he'll be quite pleasing with that. The afternoon is a little bit peculiar. We were unable to get a pre-game interview with any members of the coaching staff of Mount Pleasant, and they decided to train away from the Drax Hall area, or the playing area, in terms of them warming up ahead of this game. And it took a little while for us to get the starting lineup as well. I'm not sure of the psyche of the team right now, or the mind games, but let's see how they come out, if they'll actually come out strong, or if they will come out with a little bit of an attitude. In fact, it's an attitude already, because he was saying, I think, Theodore Whitmore, that he doesn't have the time at this moment for the interview. That's the word coming back, and he has an assistant, and that the assistant probably was tied up. I mean, so much so it might just indicate how serious they take this guy and how much they might have a little fear for this Tivoli Gardens team. I mean, there has been a stint where Whitmore and Jerome Wade had locked head together
at some point in Jamaica's football. So, I don't know, they probably would say they know each other quite well. Whitmore just trying to keep it out of his eyes until he actually sees the team on the park ready to play.
Well, let's see what kind of attitude Mount Pleasant will have. Is it that they have embraced so much of the pressure? Will we see it manifest as the game begins in a couple of minutes' time? Both teams now on the sidelines getting ready to make their way out to the middle. And yeah, we expect a really big one here. It's almost a jam-packed Drax Hall. Across the way in the stands over on the far side, not quite 100% capacity, but along the perimeter fencing, we see a lot of bodies looking on at the action, which will begin in less than 5 minutes' time as the team makes their way out to the middle. Chris Taylor is also inside the commentary box, and I'm sure he's anticipating something really big this afternoon as well.
Yeah, big matchup between these two teams, second versus third, and they have produced some excellent football so far. As you said, Mount Pleasant, they have been challenged in the last couple of weeks. A 1-1 draw in Malines, and that 2 come from behind 2-1 win over Harbour View. But when you think about it, it's still 7 match weeks since they last tasted defeat, Mount Pleasant. So even though they've been tested, they've still got wins or draws. Last loss was against Arnett Gardens at 2-0. But yeah, Tivoli Gardens, what a streak they are running on at the moment. So brilliant stuff, and I expect it to be a high quality encounter.
We'll now pause for the playing of the national anthem. We're almost ready, and it's almost that time. Drax Hall is expected to host a really good encounter. And Okita Nicholson is the man who will be overseeing the proceedings here in the Garden Parish. He'll be assisted by Damian Williams and Gavin Carvalho. Cabell Blanton is also there as the 4th official. There is Suley McCullough on the right, the captain. I guess he can be dubbed as Captain Fantastic. Number 14 for Mount Pleasant. The number 3 for Tivoli Gardens, of course, is the ever-present defender, Odin Pennicock, who before this season couldn't buy a goal for Tivoli Gardens. He has 3 so far this season.
Well, so good as Tivoli Gardens been this season.
Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup for Mount Pleasant. Shaquan Davis, of course, is in goal. And in front of him, Suley McCullough, Fitzroy Cummings, Melvin Doxley, Shaquille Dyer, Kimoni Bailey. Back in the starting lineup, of course, Shaquille Bradford, who's been with them for a couple of weeks from Harbour View, Nathaniel James, Romeo Guthrie, Demario Phillips, and Daniel Green completing the starting lineup for the Theodore Whitmore coached squad.
Yeah, I know Devontae Campbell in it was really good in the last game, but picked up a knock. Obviously has not recovered. Bailey is back in there as the starting, and also had a lot of a good form at the beginning of the season. He'll be looking to rediscover that, and what a game he would pick if he were to do that today.
Barrington Price is out injured for Tivoli Gardens, so you know it could be an issue for them. Diego Houghton, of course, remains between the sticks. Pennicock, Brown, and Alton Lewis, who's in his new sweeper role, is a part of the back 3. Let's complete the lineup with Nelson, Garnett, Justin Dunn, Nathan Thomas, Lennox Russell, Keano Simpson, and of course Shaquille Jones in this Jerome Wade starting lineup.
Yeah, no surprise, 3-4-3 is what they'll be playing under Jerome Wade. Alton Lewis will play that other centre-back position with the absence of Barrington Price, who unfortunately for them is injured, as you said, and Alton Lewis has played that position well. Justin Dunn, the league's leading goal scorer with 11 goals, is no surprise up front. And yeah, quite a lineup. This is Lennox Russell, fresh off his goal last match week out. His first goal as a Tivoli Gardens player is in the starting lineup yet again. He did spend quite a bit of time as well at Harbourview before this. Lennox Russell, experienced man, and he is there as well.
We're on the way here at Drax Hall, Mount Pleasant in their typical white and blue outfit, and Tivoli Gardens in their usual colours as well, orange and black. Mount Pleasant looking to start out strongly here. That's a lovely touch inside, looking to send it across the area. That wasn't the best touch, it goes behind, and it's going to be a goal kick. Mount Pleasant, well, we speak about the attitude that they would have had before the start of this game. It's not a bad attitude to start this one. No, definitely they want to set the tone for this game. The fans have come out for it. They know it's a big clash, and they want to send a statement that they're still the big team in the land. At Tivoli Gardens, they will certainly want to say here, we're the new kids on the block, and we have certainly risen to this position and are genuine title contenders. That's pretty much what is at stake here. Well, Jerome Wade will say he's no new kid on the block. He's been here and done that so many times. So he would say it's no surprise that he's coming to Tivoli Gardens and producing these results with a team that's basically the same for the most part from last season or the couple seasons before that struggled. But just so the aura of the man. Well, here is Mount Pleasant. This one is touched inside slightly behind Bradford. I suspect that even though Bradford has scored a couple of goals for Mount Pleasant so far since his transfer from Harbourview / Waterhouse to come to St. Anne, yeah, he has scored a couple of goals, but still trying to work out the kinks, I suspect. Bailey with the touch, wasn't the best one. Knows how to score against Tivoli Gardens. Looking to line up a shot that didn't quite come off, but Mount Pleasant still with it. Phillips looking to get his first goal this season. Last year he scored a couple of goals. One was against his Tivoli Gardens team, but as usual, he's a general in the middle of the park for Mount Pleasant, and he wants to make an impact. Mount Pleasant's number 9. Not sure how sold I am generally going forward of Cummins playing in the right back role instead. Number 10, sorry for Demara Phillips. Continue. Yeah. Yeah, hasn't changed that number, Phillips. But we'll see as the season changes. I think very willing to play different positions. Fitzroy Cummins, who got a call up to the national team playing in the centre-back role, has now, because of the because of the amount of talent they have at their disposal, and because they need to have him play, he's playing in the right-back role. But just wondering if he's really a natural there. I think what it does for them as well is that McCallum, he will go forward a lot, and what it leaves them is 3 central defenders to really cover them at the back, and that is probably a tactical ploy that will work for them. Maybe his attributes, and yeah, maybe it's a little bit of what you're saying, but also one-sided at times. So yeah, but they definitely have 3 central defenders when they go forward, and that's enough cover. So it gives McCallum the license to go forward, which he loves. When you look at their squad, generally not a lot of right backs in it as well, which is the side Cummins is playing. And then they decided to loan their out and out right back, O'Dane Murray, to Humble Lion. Well, or Vera United actually. So that was a bit surprising, but hey. Well, Mount Pleasant, they do have a free kick now, and they'd want to utilize this. Tivoli Gardens will be careful to set up this ball. It's some way out, and not sure if Phillips will go for this. Cummins likes it as well. You know, Cummins can kick from distance. He can. And it is going to be Phillips. That didn't miss by much. It certainly didn't. He did get it over the wall, but didn't come down in time. But it had enough purchase on it. Really travelled. And yeah, we see that execution there. Just looking, but curling away. Just making sure, just checking across goal. It was Hunting and just seeing that one sail harmlessly over. Pennycook looking to go long, but gives the ball away, and Guthrie now on it, trying to thread that one through the youngster from Trinidad and Tobago, Nathaniel James. So much expected from him, but not yet that central role. Well, not statistically.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
But he is an exciting prospect.
It definitely is.
And he's been given more and more opportunities by Theodore Whitmore and company. Lewis looking for Jones. Cummings does well. Looks a little bit awkward on the right hand side of the fence, but doing his job for the time being.
Yeah,
not in that 1-4 corner.
Yeah, there have been a bit of experimenting. You do remember Gawain Austin when he came to Mount Pleasant from Portmore, that he was deployed on that side as well. He's a natural centre back too, Gawain Austin, but yeah.
Corner kick to Tivoli Gardens. What can they do with this? It's rifled along the turf. It wasn't a particularly good one, was it? But he will have another opportunity to get it one inside the area, further inside the area.
Maybe what it does, Chris, is to give us a clear idea of the profile of the players that they like in their defence. When you have an out-and-out wing-back, though, of course, it's a different technique when you work with just the line versus a 360 kind of position, which he would have been used to Cummings. But as I said, a player who is always willing to adapt.
Corner kick here. This one is dinked inside the area. Mount Pleasant doing the defending. And Tivoli Gardens with the throw. No issues there for Shaquan Davis, who wants to build an attack already. Goes long, looking for Bradford. Bradford's first touch wasn't the best, but Tivoli Gardens, they manage it well at the back. And trying to send that one upfield. Tivoli still with the possession. Simpson trying to move his way through. McCullough was in the way, and Bradford was going in one direction and then shifted his position, and in the end McCullough just sent the ball the wrong way. And Diego Horton needs some attention from off the bench, and Tivoli Gardens will take a little bit of time to have a quick meeting, and I'm sure Mount Pleasant will do something similar. Really warm conditions here at Jack's Hole. Good to see the crowd in, though.
I think more so for Tivoli Gardens with this as a tactical session, because, as you said, they didn't see them warm up. Not much would have been seen in that.
But Kimoni Bailey is right there, listening to the and nobody gives a care in the world.
That might have taught it Jerome Traits a little bit. He was belated in giving out some instructions there, maybe more generalized now. But it's really the tactical and the mind games here, because it's the in-game strategies that sometimes win you the game. You come in with a strategy, you see opponents after some 8 minutes in the contest, and you feel, okay, I've seen some stuff that I'd like to change, and that's what I think for Tivoli Gardens. They're looking to do that. Kimoni Bailey wants to make sure he gives himself a little more of an advantage in not having to figure it out but hear it clear.
And that's why they try as best as possible not to have colour clashes. Could have blended right in there, Kimoni Bailey.
Wasn't the case last season. We saw cases of games where the colour clashes.
Yes. Alton Lewis goes long. Nelson can't get there. Shaquan Davis is quite an imposing figure inside the box. You look at the stature of one Anthony Nelson, well, it's not the most fair matchup.
It's never stopped him before, though, Nelson. Very good work rate, willing to go into all battles, Anthony Nelson. But yeah, he will come second in terms of the physical nature compared to Davis.
Lewis has it kept in play? It has. That's a wonderful opportunity for Tivoli Gardens. Mount Pleasant trying to clear, and they eventually do, only as far as Nathan Thomas, who was trying to send it back out wide, but he was coming from an offside position there. Lennox Russell didn't bother go after it. Cummings, luckily to get on the end of it, but he was hounded out of possession. And Thomas to Russell. Russell's ball at the back post, collected by Simpson. Dunn is asking for it, gets it. Dunn's ball inside at the back post. Cummings again looking a little bit awkward. Russell trying to play to Thomas, who slips, and it goes the other way. And Bradford looking up, hounded by Thomas. And they're just stopping the advancement of Mount Pleasant on that occasion. Bailey will try again. Again finding Bradford, who loses possession. And Richard Brown just seeing that one into touch. James to McCullough, his captain. McCullough across to Daniel Green, usually quite skillful and moving forward smoothly, but he was harassed too much by Keno Simpson, according to referee Nicholson.
Probably not the final challenge as we have a look at it here, but yeah, before that.
Well, here is Cummings. Cummings, this one breaking through to Bailey now. Phillips. Doxley. Dyer now on it. James running into space. Oh, lovely turn by the Trini. The pass, though, should have been better. Beautiful movement in the middle of the park from the young Trinidadian, but should have capped off the play with the pass. He was seeking to complete the vision there.
Yeah, skillful move from James. I just think one touch too many. Should have, when he took that second touch, should have played a pass. Then it was clear that Guthrie was making the run for him. I think it was over it mainly. I mean, yeah, he took a touch extra, but I think it's just the execution of the final pass because he still had time and the pass was still on. I mean, the turn was just beautiful to leave Thomas for dead in the middle. It's just to find the way to the final pass a little bit. It needed, it's almost like a striker in front of goal that you, yeah. So you needed just that composure to just strike it nicely. There we see Phillips just demonstrating how you'd want him to just cushion that pass into the path. Green there.
You know, but sometimes when adrenaline is flowing like that,
that's it. It just needed that composure. Yeah. The initial move just gets you too excited.
Yep.
And it's a mark of quality players. And a lot of times I hear you talk about it. It's possible to make that good pass after an exquisite turn or twist or play. But
had he made that pass, I think after the first touch, the weighting might have been okay. But by taking the second touch, it closed the gap between himself and the on-running player, which is Guthrie. But definitely agree it was overhit in the end.
Yeah.
But sometimes a lot of these players, they see the initial pass and then take an additional touch, which kills it.
And usually when we say something like that, it's more than likely a confidence issue. Not being able to, whether it's confidence in their own ability, confidence on the type of turf that they're playing on. Could be a number of things, yes, especially in the Jamaica Premier League. Here's McCullough.
And you're talking about the turf side in the Jamaica Premier League?
I'm just saying. Phillips now. Bailey. Yeah, in Jamaica, the players tend to just take that extra touch because of uncertainty, whether it's in their own ability or the surface that they're playing on. So it happens on a number of occasions.
Or culture.
And James is not from our culture, he's from Trinidad and Tobago, so there you go.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, Donald. Just wanted to make sure. It's like he wants to make that perfect pass. So he wants the ball to come down nicely, to roll nicely.
But even when you talk to other Caribbean countries, they'll say apart from playing too slow as a nation, there you see the hand on Bailey. But apart from playing too slow, they seeing something and not executing right away by taking that added touch is a common issue.
I think Bailey was a little bit belated in his thing. The hand came across. I think when he realized that he wasn't going to get that ball to a teammate, reacted. It was there, but I think he still executed the header after that contact was made, but not a bad call in the end.
Well, Mount Pleasant, they have a free kick here. Another set piece to try and capitalize on. Phillips. Garnett trying to win the header and does. Doxley the St. Lucian across the Cummings.
I just felt he had to go direct because James and Phillips were well marshaled along with Bailey out wide. He was looking to Bradford to just hold it up and bring others into play.
Lewis. Oh, that's not a bad move there. Shaquille Jones. Richard Brown. Simpson goes back to his keeper. Horton goes long. Russell collects neatly. Looking for runners. That one is dinked over the top, and again Doxley under some pressure, heading it away and behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, you could see the respect shown by Mount Pleasant here. Normally you see them here against their opponents. They're pressing high and they're looking to put them under pressure deep in the opponent's defensive third. Here, more like a medium press, just allowing Tivoli to play it around and then look to engage them as they get to the middle third. And that was a lovely ball after the build-up, just looking to go in behind, and Doxley had to make a touch because Nelson was behind.
That's not a bad-looking corner, you know. Kenny Cook just allowing that one to go into touch, that throw into Tivoli. There's a ball inside, it's not a bad one. Davis, I don't think he got much on it. Tivoli still trying to press. That's a lovely challenge, you know. And Bailey has it. And he has a run in. Bradford who has to stay on side. But Bailey, well, still in the possession of Mount Pleasant. James, Bailey, out wide. The shot from Green straight into the hands of Diego Horton.
Well, not too bad in terms of a transitional play there, but I thought Bailey delayed and probably had Bradford to go to first, delayed and then played behind his teammate. That sort of killed the impetus here. When we look at it, was a good challenge to start with. Was Doxley on Pennycook. James with the pass. I was after Bailey, almost messed it up. And Bradford was on the far side. Maybe was an option to switch the point of attack.
Yeah, really nice transition play. I agree with you there, Dwight Jeremiah. But I just think, as you said, that Kimoni Bailey is in. When he looked up, saw where his teammates were, the final decision from him was wrong. As they said, he slowed the play. It ended up working out. And maybe a better Daniel Green shot, who likes that kind of angle, does Green, because he has the ability to bend it into the far corner. But yeah, Bailey, I thought, could have come wide right initially to keep that momentum instead of allowing that extra Tivoli Gardens defender to recover.
Just a reminder to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store. And just keep in touch with all the happenings on the Home of Champions. So much to look forward to this week alone, including the Champions League, which continues on Tuesday. So, again, lots to look ahead to on the Home of Champions.
Two high-flying teams in terms of goal scoring this season, so you especially expect a lot of attacking play and quick transition. 60 goals between these two teams in the 36 games played.
Yeah, Tivoli leading the way with 33.
Best scoring team in the Premier League, so no surprise that you expect these teams to be very expressive. Mount Pleasant, they have 27 of their own, which sits them fourth.
I think Mount Pleasant is the second best defensive team in the league.
Behind Cavalier. They have, just like Portmore, conceded 13.
Yeah, Cavalier an incredible 9 goals conceded from their 18 games so far. It's almost insane to look at what Cavalier has done so far this season with a young squad and a squad that has been strengthened. There's a free kick for Tivoli Gardens over on the far side, and Nathaniel James having a word with referee Nicholson as to why he was found guilty.
Apparently, it's Daniel Green who got the yellow card. Maybe James is saying maybe I was impeded before that. A lot of fans have turned out today because this one is certainly a big one. They know it, and not just the fact that the table says it's second against third, but also just the form that these teams are in. They don't come much bigger than this. All the games being played today in the Jamaica Premier League. One completed early in the double header here, where Lime All Day suffered another defeat, and they went down 4-1 to Dumble Holden, who temporarily at least has crept into the top 6.
The battle for that final playoff spot is going to be really intense as well.
Yeah, Mobay, Waterhouse and Dumble Holden really doing battle for that spot. All other games, it must be said, are locked at 0-0 currently, with approximately between 20 and 25 minutes completed in those games.
The Arnett Waterhouse game that's played at the Waterhouse Middle Stadium starts in about 5 minutes. Here's Daniel Green on it. Not sure exactly what he was thinking there, but he still has the possession. McCalla now across to Phillips. Phillips played in hard to Green, who wasn't quite expecting it. But not at that pace at any rate.
Yeah, but he had to, because he's breaking lines, had to ping it in there. You just had to stick. Maybe the part where you said Green not expecting it is why it didn't stick.
Cummings now.
Portmore are playing Harbourview. Mobay United against Humble Lion, and Treasure Beach against Moulines are the other games going on at the moment.
Green on it. Phillips playing in a really deep role now, just trying to quarterback each attack from the deep lying midfield area. Kimoni Bailey always looking for that additional yard of space. Started off the season pretty strongly, did Kimoni Bailey.
Yeah, created a highlight reel of goal for himself. Really, and I suspect to see them when the season would have concluded and you put the goals together. So good he was.
Yeah. Then he got injured, was out for a couple of weeks, hasn't quite looked the same.
A lot of times we see that with players, just not maybe confidence as well in terms of the type of injury, and just want to play a couple of games and satisfy themselves that they're good again.
That's lovely. Justin Dunn was anticipating the call and got it. This is Nathan Thomas now. Trying to switch the play, didn't have the strength. Cummings saw it. Lovely pass to Bailey. Bailey trying to utilize his space to get the better of Alton Lewis. And that doesn't really happen every day. Someone getting by Lewis. There you go. Him sticking a foot out there, stopping the progress.
Not happening today either. Say not every day, certainly not today, at least not at that moment. A lot of time for Bailey to go at it again. But for the moment, Lewis winning that duel.
McCullough to Guthrie. Guthrie's lost it. Dunn looking for a run on the right hand side. Has found one. Simpson, can he keep it in play? Yeah, barely. And now Dunn on the right. Twisting and turning over on the far side, was hounded all the time. Gets a throw for his team. Pennycook forced to go back. Brown recovers eventually. I think quite a few defenders underestimate the pace of Shaquille Bradford at times. Needed a better first touch from Anthony Nelson there. Lovely challenge from Nathan Thomas. Keena Simpson. Here comes Tivoli Gardens now, looking for the advantage. Ball played inside, too much on it. And it goes into touch. It's going to be a throw into the home team.
Yeah, Lennox Russell just not tall enough to get onto the end of that one. But yeah, wasn't precise with that cross, Tivoli. But did have Mount Pleasant scampering back to their own goal. It's been an even contest.
Pennycook. Well, a card is going to be shown to the Tivoli Gardens captain, and the Tivoli bench can't believe that call.
Yeah, I felt earlier too, there was a step from him, got away with, maybe got to the ball quicker. But yeah, maybe no. It didn't look as he intended to play the ball.
Yeah, the ball was long gone there.
Yeah. So, not a bad call.
Kimoni Bailey on it and trying to stretch to get there.
I think he was trying to see if he could pick out the run of his teammate. I think it was Guthrie on the inside, to see if he could get a touch to just redirect that one into the path of Guthrie, who had found himself into a nice pocket of space. Couldn't get onto the end of it from that ball. Bailey from that ball coming from Cummings.
Cummings in the way, nodding it to Bailey. Bailey plays it across, and the youngster sends it so very high, Nathaniel James.
I think it was Pennycook who was looking to apply some pressure to just ensure that he didn't get his technique spot on. Pennycook, the confirmation shown there that he's on a yellow card, but James there just looking to see if he could trouble the score.
Hard.
Tivoli Garden just having problems with the likes of their left-sided midfielder in Jones, just feeling that he's not covering the ground, not tracking back well enough. And his positioning not to the liking of the technical team at the moment.
Enjoying the battle as well between Bradford and Brown. Richard Brown, has been seen on more than one occasion this season to be pretty rash. And Bradford always willing to play the aggressive game and willing to play little tricks as well. So I'm really interested to see how that battle develops as it goes on. Can he draw a rash challenge out of Brown and pull a penalty or something like that? Or will Brown's physicality be overpowering for him?
Sometimes I get the impression that it's off his own making, though. Richard Brown held on to the ball on a couple of occasions a little bit too long, inviting the pressure from Bradford. I mentioned before that he probably is underestimating the pace of the striker.
I think he gets ahead of himself sometimes, Brown. That's a
good challenge
smooth
from
ball
Thomas.
handler.
Yeah, well, there's also that.
Has seen what? Is it 3 yellow cards already this season? It's 2 or 3. And yeah, Bradford, young, but mature in his ways, I think, as a striker, and can draw certain things well.
Oh no, Pennycook has given it away. Bradford sends it across to Bailey. Bailey on his left. Fabulous block by Alton Lewis. Jones now on it.
I thought in that situation that Bradford would have been a little bit selfish as a striker and take it for himself. A bit surprised that he decided to go with the horizontal, the lateral pass.
Yeah, it was equally a surprise as well. I would have expected my striker to go for it.
And the way he played the ball to Bailey, Bailey couldn't kick it one time with the left foot. And even though he was coming into the ball, he had to take a touch, so it defeated the purpose.
Garnett somehow manages to get away from Phillips and tries to send it long to Nelson. Oh, that's not a bad first touch at all from Nelson, but he's losing his footing and has lost the ball eventually.
The referee didn't see any, like I said, didn't see any problems with the initial challenge from McCullough. It is Nelson attempting to play the ball while on the turf, which is why I called it, was looking at that. I think, yeah, Bradford could have gone first time, or just gone at goal rather than crossing it to Bailey. And you're right, because he's so heavy left-footed, the way it was coming across, would have to check it back. Yeah, he's always going to control with the right to put it back on the left.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that the way the pass, the direction in which the pass came, obviously Bradford wasn't thinking that, look, let me put this on a platter for Kimoni Bailey to strike one time, considering he's so left-sided. Anyhow, I would have preferred Bradford to take it for himself and run right at the heart of the defence, because they were exposed.
McCullough on it now. Phillips trying to direct traffic again across to Dar.
There is a bit of a rotation at times where Doxley decides to sit deep, and then McCullough comes into a more advanced position in the middle of the park. It's part of the reason why McCullough has found himself in goal-scoring position so much times this season as well. That willingness to venture forward.
Well, Green is on it. Phillips dragging that shot well wide of the mark.
I think what helped Phillips in getting to that pocket of space, just as you were talking about rotation, when McCullough went into the middle, Phillips was a centre back, and then he started his run forward unchecked, because you're not going to, he's appearing on the blind side, you're not going to mark a player coming from deep, and he appeared and got a pocket of space where he could have executed, not the right execution in the end.
You're telling me.
But the rotation is what would have caused that.
His shot was a bit ridiculous considering it's on his weaker side, and he was under pressure from 30 yards out.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
But did find himself into some space. Maybe should be looking for that little pass to break the line, yeah, to set up.
Or even the reverse.
Yeah.
But anyhow, as you said, the strong point is the rotation.
Yeah, it's a curve
of this Mount Pleasant midfield and back line. Which supports your point again about the coming scenarios. You see him pulling wide right now, but there are times where he gets very central into a regular centre-back role.
And McCullough central now, starting as the left-sided fullback.
Here's Nathaniel James now, looking for options. The give and go with Kimoni Bailey not quite coming off, but not the most convincing clearance either. McCullough is shot from distance. Oh, well wide of the mark. It was always going to be a difficult proposition to beat Houghton from so far out. Tried it anyway.
think we've seen it at the international level where the fullbacks go into midfield and become that midfield player. McCullough doing that a lot.
Here's Russell. Back to Jones.
And you also see how their shots can go.
Nathan Thomas on it. Tivoli Gardens trying to take their time about it before they go long. And the endeavour from Alton Lewis again is inaccurate. They still have the possession though. Can they be more precise? No. Not quite precise in this half so far. Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah.
You could hear their technical team saying when you're playing against good team, you can't be giving the ball away like that, unforced. So they are concerned about the turnovers. So far, Mount Pleasant, they really have not been able to carve out anything clear from those turnovers.
Did I hear a tennis term from you, Dwight Jeremiah? Unforced errors? I'm impressed.
Kimoni Bailey, impressive himself, pulls it across, almost made it through to Guthrie. Lewis again goes long. Hounded all the time by Doxley was Nelson.
It's a real battle, isn't it?
It is.
Just generally. Nice matchups. Nice matchups.
Thomas was being held by Phillips.
Phillips is going to get a yellow card here because he's silly about it, Demario Phillips. Clear foul. And I think he's lucky. I think Keita Nicholson is maybe even too lenient, if you ask me. But maybe based on the encounter, he just doesn't want to get into a situation where he's releasing needless yellow cards in the event that he has something that he really needs to produce one for.
Yeah, it's called precedence. Well, Cummings has been really alert at right back. This one is slipped through well. Bradford deflected and it goes wide. It's a corner kick to Mount Pleasant. Oh, he looked ominous going forward there, Shaquille Bradford. Not sure if he made a proper connection with the ball.
Certainly didn't make a proper connection. You could see the ball was rolling, and maybe it was good that he got the deflection, because that one I think was going to be an easy collection for the goalkeeper. Yeah, just coming off I think the heel more so than the side foot, the heel portion of it. So yeah, didn't really make the proper connection.
Corner kick coming up for Mount Pleasant. They have 5 players lurking inside the box. Here's the delivery from James. Handled easily. Goes out as far as Phillips. Sets back James, who has time and space, and again couldn't deliver. Phillips, can he deliver? It's a lovely ball inside, but the flag goes up for offside. And the celebrations short-lived.
Yeah, short-lived for sure, but Mount Pleasant, that's an ominous sign Tivoli will be mindful of. It's just the run that was off. The overall play was quite good, and that's at the back post. Marking not as good as it should have been.
Doxley venturing forward, just another sign of Doxley was playing at centre-back 5 minutes ago, and it was him getting into that box. Obviously it was off of the corner initially, the St. Lucian. He thought he had finally scored this season. Here he's still complaining about it, isn't he? Let's look at it here. Where does the ball come off of initially? Ball is in. You can see it floating over. There's a lot of challenges. I think that's a right call from the officials.
A close one though, I would say, from that angle.
I think they were complaining that the touch came off of a Tivoli Gardens player, but it didn't.
Yeah, the Mount Pleasant, they almost thought that they went ahead, and I know there would have been a lot of celebration for that disallowed goal. So let's hear what Janae has to say with a Mount Pleasant fan. How did they view that? Was it an offside for them?
Yes, we've been having a debate down here on the pitch side. We've been saying that it's a tough game. He said it's an emotional game. Why you say it's emotional?
It's a game really rough. We just play them in our eyes to occasion and do them for them. Not really tough. Them just a show emotion.
You were talking about that goal a while ago. We saw how intense it was. Everybody, you and your friends under this tent were a bit riled up by it. Give me your thoughts.
I would think we get the go-ahead goal, but referee says it's offside. So.
What do you think that Mount Pleasant still has it in the bag? This is a tough Tivoli team. This is second versus third on the table.
About 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
And there's a lot at stake. We know the reputation of the coaches. We know the reputation of the players on the field. A while ago, we had a little discussion saying that, the Rasta on the field has some family from Tivoli. So, what do you think about it with the stakes ahead?
We are going to change him still because him score one goal against Dumbo and since them same have so much family in Tivoli, we are going to change him because we don't want.
So it seems to me that it's really emotional down at Mount Pleasant.
We don't want lightning strike twice, so we'll change him second half, put on Trini and change the game. We'll win the game, man. The confidence we'll win the game, man.
Alright, well, you can calm down yourself. I see you have some rare nephew and some other goodies under the tent to enjoy, so enjoy that, and we will see you later. Back to you, Dwight, Donald, and Chris.
Thanks, Shani. That is a lot of liquor. A lot.
Are you saying too much for him? You want some to be sent here?
You can indulge. I won't speak about it. The audience may hear about it, but
we don't want him to see more than 22 players.
Well, that means Donald, he can't hold his liquor, nor does Chris. We hold ours.
Nathan Thomas does well and finds Garnett. Garnett, I figure he should have just touched it forward to Nelson, who was waiting on that pass.
Came under
pressure. It would have been a simple one too,
Came under pressure initially, Garnett. The ball had gone a little bit too far away from him, and so had to stretch to that one.
Not sure about Garnett being of the creative mindset to be in that attacking midfield role.
No, I think he adds more steel than anything.
Oh, here's Guthrie from distance, wide of the mark.
Talking about midfielders, Guthrie, one of the better ones in the league for some time now, even before in his days at Arnett Gardens. I just thought based on the bounce, I can agree with him that he probably thought to himself, from that distance, it bouncing, I could hit a nice volley here. Under normal circumstances, he wouldn't have taken the strike. But yeah, still didn't get it right.
Phillips touches it forward. Bradford. Again, the battle between Brown and Bradford continues.
And Bradford says he gets one in the back of the head, so does the Mario Phillips, who is down.
I think for Bradford, he said it was holding. And for Phillips, yeah, it was a knock. Clear one. I think Bradford just needs to be stronger with it. But yeah, holding on to it, but yeah. Phillips would have had a greater impact in terms of let's see Bradford here. Phillips, yeah, that was definitely an infringement.
We speak about Garnett and what he offers to the team, and I suppose that he offers a lot in terms of graft and grit, and does give the Tivoli Gardens team a bit of personality in that regard. But they do have a lot of creative players on the bench, Tivoli Gardens, that could be utilized in a similar role maybe later on in this game.
Yeah, there is Fuller on the bench. There is Vishanal Harris, who has so much experience, titles from his days at Arnett Gardens. Vishanal Harris, as I said, young Fuller out of Excelsior. Rodico Wellington, not on the bench today, but yeah. Howard Morris, of course, who has scored goals and assisted. In fact, Howard Morris, I'm always impressed with his chemistry with Justin Dunn, the team's leading goal scorer. Every time they're on the park together, I think they have a really good understanding. I just think maybe the discipline of Morris sometimes on the park has caused a problem for.
This one punted to the edge of the box, comes out as far as Guthrie, trying to line up James, and there's another whistle on the play.
But yeah, certainly Morris has caused issues for Jerome Wade with that factor. You do remember, what was it, 2 match weeks ago he was sent off? Or was it last match week? No, it can't be last match week, but 2 match weeks ago he was sent off.
But you can see the reason with Garnett being in there as well, because of what they would have expected and anticipated from Mount Pleasant coming at them, but just needing that little steal in the middle of the park to break things up.
Which is why he's probably gone Garnett, as you said.
Yes,
even that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mount Pleasant, they do have a free kick now,
and I can appreciate that too.
They've had a couple of free kicks in and around this area. Phillips has had a pop Not sure if he's going to be going this occasion. Well, the wires were surely crossed with that set piece. And Cummings, you'll say it's a shot, but it looked more like a clearance that went into touch for a goal.
He wasn't a part of the plans, for sure.
I doubted.
But when it went horribly wrong, he was just trying to make amends.
Well, what Mount Pleasant have done a really good job of so far is we have seen nothing from the league's leading goal scorer, Justin Dunn.
Yeah, I think Cummins have dealt with him well. At times I've heard them trying to just play it into his feet, but once it got there, I mean, Cummins very tight and physical as well.
Well, to be fair, he's
playing wide. That's true too.
And he's asked to do a whole lot of defensive work over on that far side as well. And how many Tivoli touches have Tivoli had in the box?
Well, not a lot.
Very few touches for Dunn.
But still, I think with him out there has made it easier for Cummins to deal with him as well, rather than him running through those half spaces.
I don't like that though. I think based on the personnel that they have on the park, if anything, Nelson should have been that player playing out wide. Nelson doesn't score goals. He works hard. He's a willing runner. But Nelson doesn't score goals. That's just the truth of the matter. So why would you have Nelson as your out-and-out striker? And Dunn, who's been very good centrally with 11 goals, is asked now to play out wide. Let Garnett put in that work. Nelson. And Nelson always a man willing to put in that hustle and bustle. That's actually the good aspect of his game.
Oh, here's the ball played out wide to Garnett. And sends it across. And, well, there was a slight appeal from a couple of Tivoli Gardens players. But nothing doing there. May have been appealing for a handled ball, but yet again a situation for Tivoli Gardens, a promising situation, not bearing fruit.
Yeah, I think that one was Nelson sending through Garnett. And
the passes needed to be better from Garnett.
Yeah, but also it was from Dunn going inside. He did make an out-to-in run, create that little confusion and create a little numbers up on that occasion. Yeah, but that handball shot from Tivoli. Referee Nicholson was saying it was just a shoulder, top of the shoulder.
Yeah, I would like to see, as this game goes on, I'd love to see that rotation from Tivoli. I want John, my leading goal scorer, in that central role with his confidence. Anything that breaks to him in terms of a mistake, you'd bank on him to find the finish.
Or to at least, make a decent
Nelson,
attempt.
unfortunately, just doesn't have that confidence. He just doesn't have one goal in 3 years for Anthony Nelson. It's just not happening in that way.
Cummings seeking to go long, looking to find Bradford. McCullough is in the way. McCullough to Bradford, was hounded and an arm to the face, albeit accidental, but still a foul.
Don't think Bradford made up his mind as to what he wanted to do with this one. Just look at the pass into him. Then it got to him. He was half turned to it. There was a space for him to go into. Probably didn't want it on that left foot. I mean, he could have just gone across there, but it was going to be on the left. And looking to go outside to more favor the right. But the space opened up for him inside. I don't think he was prepared or had a plan for that one.
Yeah, I also think Pennycook bought that foul. When I look back at that replay, it's a hand to the shoulder, really, and all Bradford was doing was just really commanding the air. It's not as if he threw a hand. Just defending his space. I don't think that was a foul, but anyhow.
In the final minute of stoppage time here, and we are yet to see a goal in this fixture. Just the one goal last time these two teams met. Kimoni Bailey was the man who decided it back then.
Still could do here, but for the moment worried about what Tivoli will do from this corner kick. But despite 60 goals between these two teams, as you say, one goal when they met, they do have decent defensive records, 13 and 15.
Here's a corner kick, and bread and butter for Shaquan Davis on that occasion. Phillips trying to go long immediately, looking for Daniel Green. Green controls, and he has runners, and Guthrie has joined him, and so too Phillips. And Phillips looking for an option out wide, decides to play it inside. It was Lewis who was in the way. Guthrie does well, gets back Phillips inside the action, McCullough. Green again. Back to McCullough. Phillips. Ball played inside. Need out by Lewis. They'll try again. Maybe the last bit of attack before the halftime interval. Phillips. Bailey. This could be Mount Pleasant's last charge, but there needs to be a charge. Phillips from distance. Oh my goodness.
I just have a problem with the movement though of Mount Pleasant, which leads then to those wasteful strikes. When you look at the players setting along the box, and everybody in a straight line, no angles, no options. So one ball can be defended by one defender. It's not optional, so you have different players running in different positions, so even a deflection can go to another player. I think that's a problem for Mount Pleasant, a bit too stagnant, we would say.
Yeah, good point there. It's a stalemate so far between Mount Pleasant and the Tivoli Gardens. And I mentioned before that it seems that Mount Pleasant came into this encounter with an attitude. Well, little to show for it at the end of the first 45. And need to see a little bit more goal-mouth action by two of the more attacking teams in the Jamaica Premier League this season. Tivoli Gardens, if they win, they will leapfrog Mount Pleasant and be in second spot. So they have a lot on the line as well as the home team. At halftime, 0 between Mount Pleasant and Tivoli Gardens.
Welcome back to the Jackson Sports Complex Premier League action. And yes, the reign of the Jamaica Premier League is off to a pretty strong match week 19. It's 0-0 between Mount Pleasant and Tivoli Gardens after 45 minutes. Okita Nicholson, the man in charge, FIFA official Nicholson, and such a strong fixture. We haven't really been able to see any goals in it so far. Nathaniel James with that strike from wide, and it was off target. Lots of midfield play, not a lot of 18-yard opportunities. Kimoni Bailey with this strike, which was blocked. Bradford with the pass or stop. Bradford should have gone for goals there. Instead, decided to play in his teammates and nothing doing. Then this occasion, Bradford driving forward, hustling and bustling, and not making a clean connection. Ball coming off the heel and out for a corner. Shaquille Bradford causing problems as usual, but not the cleanest of strikes. Not much for Tivoli going forward either. 45 minutes complete. The expectation is that the second half will be a lot more entertaining in terms of play, a lot more expressive between these two teams. It's second versus third. Mount Pleasant, the host, in second position here, playing at home. But yeah, both teams with strong defensive records, unable to break down each other. As you can see for Tivoli Gardens, no shots attempted, nothing on target. 8 attempted so far for Mount Pleasant at home, just 1 shot on target. There's been 13 fouls and 1 yellow card shown each by Okita Nicholson. And majority of the possession for the home team, Mount Pleasant, which is expected. But unfortunately, there's been no goals in it. There's lots of anticipation between the league's second and third place teams. At the end of the first half, it's Mount Pleasant 0, Tivoli Gardens 0. We go to a break, but before that, Janae is with Kajay Rowe, the senior marketing manager at Supreme Ventures.
at halftime with the senior marketing manager, Kajero, for Supreme Ventures. Talk to me about this rebranding of Just Bet. It looks beautiful. The girls are out, the guys are out there dancing. What is this execution all about?
Alright, so what we're doing today is we're launching the brand new look and feel of Just Bet. So Just Bet, our customers love Just Bet, and it's one of our fastest growing subsidiaries. So what we decided to do was just put some money behind it, give it a brand new, modern, fresh look, a whole new gaming experience. It has a brand new home. So now you can play Just Bet, all your lotteries game, all your horse racing game from one platform, and that's at supremegames.com. So that's what we're unveiling out here today.
Well, you talk to me about that growth. Talk to me about the factors that contributed to that success, especially in 2023.
All right, well, sports betting is growing across the world, not just in Jamaica. And what we realize is people like different things. And what makes sports betting a little bit different is that you can bet on almost anything. So you can bet on your favorite sports team. You can bet on your favorite player to score first. You can bet on them to score in the second half or the first half. You have so many different options that you can use when you're using sports betting. And I think that's one of the factors that has contributed to this significant growth.
Well, we are having a very good time here at Drexel. Talk to me about all of these things that we're seeing. We're seeing a mini AstroTurf, some golf course. Talk to me, what's it all about?
Alright, so what we're doing at Drexel today, we have our Just Bet penalty shootout, we have our spin the wheel. So we're giving away money, we're giving away branded items, we're giving away so many things to our players, our customers who decided to come out and watch the Jamaica Premier League game with us today.
And before we go, I need you to tell me a little bit of the details. Details with this promotion. Tell me what it's all about, where they can find you, and where your locations are and all that.
Alright, so the current promotion we have going on today, I mentioned earlier Supreme Games. So Just Bet has a brand new home at supremegames.com. And once you sign up at supremegames.com, you're going to get $2,000 gaming credits to bet on any of the Just Bet games available. We have over 135 locations across the island. So if you can't make it to any of those, you can always just bet on your phone anywhere, anytime at supremegames.com. And if you have a passport, if you love to travel, you have a visa, we have a Champions League trip coming up that we're going to be giving away soon. So if you want to know more about that, just follow us on Instagram at JustBetJA, and you will get much more information. You can find out how to enter, how you can win, what the prizes include completely. So it's a trip for two, you and your friend, to the Champions League finals on June 1 in London.
Well, stay tuned to Just Bet and stay tuned to the home of champions for that Champions League, as well as the Jamaica Premier League. We are here at Drexel. We're having fun, and we'll be back right after the break.
It's giving away. Well, we have Champions League action coming up for you on Tuesday on the home of champions, SportsMax 2 in particular. Inter Milan will go up against Atletico Madrid, 3 o'clock Jamaica time, 4 UCT. A pre-game show begins 1 hour before kickoff, and then on Wednesday, Napoli against Barcelona on SportsMax 2 as well. 3 o'clock Jamaica time, 4 UCT. Again, the pre-game show begins at 2 o'clock Jamaica time, 3 in the Eastern Caribbean. So you don't want to miss all that action from Europe as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. Tivoli Guns are making a couple of changes here and not too surprised by the changes as they seek to go a little bit more attacking. Orisha Morgan and Howard Morris, they come on the park for Kevin Garnett and Lennox Russell as they hope to add a little bit more firepower for this second half.
Yeah, Russell was kept quiet, and we spoke about Garnett. Was probably there to add a little bit of steel in the middle, but took away from the creativity of Tivoli. Horatio Morgan will be fresh off of his brace against Very United, so confidence high, a bit more of a dynamic player. And then, yeah, Howard Morris, we spoke about his chemistry with Justin Dunn, and Dunn hopefully will go into a more central position in the forward line.
There we see the confirmations of the substitutions you spoke about, and James winning a free kick for Mount Pleasant. James, as I was saying in the opening with the team sheets, the team being announced, I don't think he's really come to life a lot. He's been trusted with a lot of starts, probably just trying to build his confidence, but I don't think he has rewarded so far. But talent, yes, no doubt.
Well, Phillips is behind this, so too James as well. Set piece for the home team. James' delivery, not bad at all. Headed away. Green gives chase. But Tivoli with the possession. Trying to go long. That's a lovely ball, you know, and Nelson with a fabulous turn. Morgan is free inside the box. Still a chance for Tivoli. Trying to maneuver their way through. Oh, there was a challenge. The referee points to the corner flag, and that's the only thing that's been given to the visitors.
Probably unfortunately for Tivoli Gardens, a player rushing into the box was Shaquille Jones, who is not known for his 18-yard play, Jones. Probably they would have loved that to come to somebody with a bit better ball handling skills, with better ball handling skills than Jones. Good defending, you'd say, by Mount Pleasant, though.
Corner kick coming up for Tivoli Gardens. What will they manufacture here? 5 waiting inside the box. Here's the delivery. That's a header that's deflected and wide again. And the referee points to the spot. And there was a handled ball inside the box. Apparently the Mount Pleasant players, they do not agree with the call, and they're surrounding referee Nicholson. It's a big decision that he has made at the start of the second half, with Tivoli Gardens being awarded a penalty here.
Well, we'd look to see the replay on it, but he seems to have been sure, Nicholson. He went to it straight away, pointed to the spot. But just to make a look, the assistant referee positioned himself already for it. But let's have a look here now.
That's a shoulder of Fitzroy Cummins. That's not a handball.
Before that, let's look
it's
here.
It's the dreadlocks of Kimoni Bailey.
Yeah, it would have to be in the bundle there because there was nothing doing
this
here.
This is the best angle.
Look at Cummins, the number 4. It comes off of Cummins.
Oh,
no, not
that's
at
the top
all.
of the shoulder for Fitzroy Cummins.
Yeah, that's poor. That's poor.
That's a poor call.
But he went to it straight away, it would appear. So, yeah, let's. I'm not seeing anything before that.
Initial flick on was from Horatio Morgan, off the dreadlocks of Kimoni Bailey and onto the shoulder of Fitzroy Cummins.
Well, Tivoli Gardens looking to get their first shot in the game, and it is their top scorer looking to be the difference maker here, Justin Dunn. 11 goals to his name so far this season, and under controversial circumstances, Tivoli Gardens looking to get the advantage here at Drax Hall. Dunn steps up, saved by Davis, and the challenge there inside the box, and Mount Pleasant will think that justice has been served through the brilliance of their custodian.
Most certainly Davis was really up to the task, and many in here, probably the neutrals who would have seen it in TV land, would have said, you know, the best thing for that would have been a miss or a save. That has materialized, and I think the game is still intact, because that was a bad call from Nicholson in the middle there to give the penalty in the first place, but that's a big save. Let's look at it. Yeah, not the best, the penalty, not totally in the corner, but give him credit, he waited and he guessed right. Just look, and let's look at the follow-up. just, yeah, that was good from Dyer to rush in, quick to react, and didn't allow Tivoli to make a clean shot. That would have been that was their first shot on target in the game.
Was your first shot?
Or shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's the corner kick for Tivoli Gardens. Ball swung inside, and the clearance again by Guthrie on this occasion.
It's on the mind of Justin Dunn, and I think he showed Shaquan Davis as well from early where he was going. You could see him open up his body, almost lean back. So I agree that prevented it from going in the corner. But credit still, you're not expected to save a penalty necessarily. It was a strong left hand.
That was a good left hand.
And I would have to say I'm one of the neutrals. I definitely think that was a poor call. So justice done, in my view.
Justice done in the aftermath of Dunn missing it. There's a corner kick. Inside, headed away.
Yeah.
Of the just name.
Guthrie.
It's not just going to be done, that is going to be scrutinized when it's finished.
Bradford sends it out wide. And James committing the foul there as he tried to barrel his way forward. And was there retaliation there? I'm not sure the referee saw it. Neither did the assistant referee. Well, the referee has come across and he has shown a yellow card to Howard Morris. Well, so many things happened just now. Again, Morris goes into the referee's book.
Yeah.
Under circumstances that we're not altogether sure of. We've seen this before.
Just coming back into the squad list as well as Howard Morris. You remember he was red carded against Arnett Gardens just 2 match weeks ago. Peter Nicholson.
But I'm wondering if on this occasion it was something that he said.
Well, here we have a look.
Because it was his fellow teammate actually went to the turf. See what happened here. Well, to be fair, we know that Alton Lewis is an actor, or he tries to be. He buys these fouls every week.
But that's still not showing us why Howard Morris was booked.
Well, as is Donald is saying, maybe something said.
Because I don't think there was a challenge after that play.
So Morris becomes the 3rd player booked.
Pennycook picks it up. Pennycook from distance, and Davis had to move to his right so quickly to hold on. Maybe looked a little bit too dramatic there, but he was off his line. Pennycook did see it, took the gamble, and Davis had to move smartly.
Maybe he borrowed some of Alton Lewis's play acting skills.
That was a good take though. It really was. He was off his line.
Yeah, he made it look more dramatic. It didn't need all of that.
But the safe hands, though, for him to get 2 hands and just let it stick. Good reach and good take. We'll give the custodian some credit. Not saying it's spectacular, but good handling. I mean, we've seen them gone up and probably one hand tip it over.
Morgan.
The pace was lacking from Pennycook, but
that's true. And while
lovely from Nelson. Morris. And here's a shot that's blocked. The effort coming in from Jones there. Dunn. Couldn't get across there in time to do effective work. Well, I think the game has picked up a little bit, if not in quality, in excitement.
It had to. Based on that first half. It's a lot more open in this half, and that's not the best pass from Green.
And as we're saying, while Tivoli has failed to score that chance given to them there, and this game remains at 0-0. There are other games in the Premier League that have seen goals. Portmore, a day lead Arborview by 0-0.
McCullough trying to send this up towards the halfway line, can't find Bradford. Lewis intervening. Bailey now with space over on the right hand side. Bradford asking where to put it. Bailey still holds on to it, and maybe the momentum is gone. Yeah,
certainly that pass from Cummins, it went.
Now here is Morgan. Morgan sees Nelson on the run. Nelson stopped that run.
But always going to be difficult for Nelson. You'd ask him to go through Doxley and Dyer. That's not an easy wall to go through.
That wall has steel in it.
Lots of it as well.
Not just concrete.
But I would say that Portmore, they lead their contest. Treasure Beach, they lead Malines by a goal to nil.
They do. Treasure Beach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cavalier, they lead Vere by 2 goals to nil. And Umberland, they lead Montego Bay by a goal to nil.
Even though this might not be the most enterprising fixture you just mentioned, Treasure Beach 13th versus Malines 12th. And they lead by a goal to nil, Treasure Beach. So that means they will be closing the gap as it stands. They would be 11 points compared to Malines 16,
They're currently 11 to Malines 16 on the live table, yes. So still keeping it interesting at both ends of the table. This game doing so as well. Cavalier, they're taking advantage of this draw as they're leading their contest by 2 goals to nil.
Over Vere.
Yeah.
Cumberland, what a lead for them over Mobe, who have been flying high. And remember, Montego Bay challenging for that 6th spot with Dumble Holding and Waterhouse.
Which they're just 2 points ahead. At the time they were, I think, Umberland now just 2 points behind them on the live table.
Yeah, it's dramatic stuff in the Jamaica Premier League, and the drama continues here at Drax Hall. Tivoli trying to come forward again. Morgan couldn't quite hold it. Kimoni Bailey has Kimana Spark level space over on that far side. If he can keep it in, he cannot.
He needed Winston Griffiths as the jockey there. But what
used to be a runaway horse.
Surprisingly, let me tell you, you mentioned that Humberland match. Andre Clennon back into the starting lineup and scoring against Mobe United.
Somebody can do that calculation there, because he has gone well over 1,000 minutes in the Jamaica Premier League without scoring a goal. And I'm serious.
No longer so.
Come on, Chris.
Probably a calculator with good memory. You know, you have those where you type in the memory, so hopefully it was holding on to that.
Yeah, you know when you erase it, you can't find it again.
Here's Guthrie bursting forward and just losing possession there. The flag goes up over on the far side. Guthrie had committed a foul there as he tried to get the ball back, and referee Nicholson getting involved, but I don't think he'll add anything more. Peter Gould is in the background in the white shirt, the owner of Mount Pleasant. Achieved his goal last season as his team won the Jamaica Premier League title.
And some of the academy students there just looking on.
Well, it's now 1-1.
Yeah, it is now 1-1.
Between Treasure Beach and Malines United.
Yeah.
That score coming in unofficially, so we'll try to confirm that for you. Oh no, it's official. It's on the Jamaica Premier League app. There you go. So
I don't do anything unofficial, Donald. At least that one on here.
Yeah, the Jamaica Premier League does have an app, as well as the SportsMax app. You can download both of them today. Get the latest scores from around the league.
So that lead for Treasure Beach just lasted some 5 minutes. Scored in the 51st minute, and Malines equalized in the 56th minute.
Lots of unusual scores. So we've had Clennon.
Tivoli Garden sending this one inside the area. Davis almost spills it, but he was checked, I believe. Yeah, free kick awarded to him and the Mount Pleasant team, but hearts and mouths moments there.
Put off by probably one of the shortest players in the park, but has a good leap.
Shaheen Rose, the scorer for Portmore in their 1-goal lead. You don't hear that name called in goal scoring every day, the defensive midfielder.
I guess you could talk that maybe we were getting used to Stephen Young scoring, the centre back.
It's probably a spectacular goal too, you know.
Yeah.
Rose, yeah.
Cavalier in their 2-goal advantage. Jamara Calvin scoring again. He's now up to 9 on the goal scoring charge. And Dwayne Busy Atkinson, 2 goals in as many games.
Good to see him back. Mount Pleasant making a couple of changes themselves now as they try to go for the game.
Avery, come on, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Come on!
Avery, the lively
Trinidadian as well.
Yeah.
Also, player number 17, Rogan Guthrie, has been replaced by player number 11.
So Bailey's out for Avery. And Guthrie comes out, and Shandy James will make his entrance. So both teams have flexed their muscles here. We've seen some impact from the Tivoli Garden substitutes. Can James and Avery do likewise or even better. Mobe also have equalized, so it's 1-1 between them and Umberland.
Yeah, that battle for 6th spot is intensifying.
Yeah. And I like Mobe's form of recent, so Umberland should look out there. They're close in the table, but I think the form of Mobe United much better than Humber Lion.
Well, there's a real battle happening out here. Nelson has won, and Morgan inside to Morris, and Morris was stripped by Shandy James, his first contribution since being on the park. Free kick for the visitors. You know, the one time Jerome Way doesn't wear shades and he's being blinded by the sun, which is a little bit incredible. Lewis sends this one inside, and no issues there for Shaquan Davis. Lovely ball through the channel. Dunn tries to send it across, but there's not an orange shirt in sight.
I think that was a shot by Ben. Can't blame him there. He was always stretching. Don't think he was looking for the pass. I think he was looking to start Dunn. I think he was looking for the far corner there. What I should say is he bent it past the post.
We're hearing some news about one of the Premier League games from the Waterhouse Mini Stadium. We'll get to that in just a moment. Ovray was trying to make his way through there and just ran into some trouble, but isn't he a little bit stick of dynamite there going forward?
He is, and he's really improving. As I spoke about his counterpart, his countryman in terms of James, but he has certainly shown improvements. When he came out, I saw him the first time, was just always looking to run with the ball, not looking to pass. But no, I think he's mixing the game up and choosing the right time to pass, right time to dribble.
And both of them still just 19 years of age here, very young. So even though we are being hard on James, he is a youngster.
Done inside, clearance made by Dyer. And Thomas, I'm not sure if he's made a lot out of it.
Yeah,
probably wasn't a lot in it in the first place.
And I actually thought that Nathan Thomas was the one who had arms outstretched, if anything.
Have a look here.
Look at where Thomas's arms are. He's the one pushing. Look at that. He's the one who has fouled Daniel Green, not the other way around. Green always had eyes on the ball.
I think maybe just the knee that comes up here. Maybe that's what I know. I see the hand, but yeah, maybe just that he's saying. Yeah, possibly that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So we hear that the game between Waterhouse and Ireland Gardens is on pause for the time being because of a butt throwing incident that has taken place there. It's 0-0
at Jerusalem.
At Jerusalem
in Waterhouse.
It's really, we haven't heard things like that in a while.
Long time.
That's disappointing to hear. Very disappointing.
So that's what we're hearing, what's happening at Jerusalem.
Yeah, we really hope that is rectified in short order. And I must say, especially in recent times, the behavior inside the stands of all the grounds have been much improved. I mean, yes, obviously fans are passionate, but in terms of violating the field of play
hasn't happened,
or throwing things, that has been, especially
not
at the highest level.
Memory,
Free kick taken quickly here to Morgan, tried to get that one inside the box, but he had to settle for the corner kick there. Ball coming inside. And another whistle. Free kick to Mount Pleasant, deep in their own half. Yeah, so the game has resumed, and it's a good thing. I thought that maybe there would have been a danger for it having to be called off.
This is the Waterhouse Arnett.
The Waterhouse Arnett Gardens game at Jewsland, so the match has resumed. It's still 0-0 at Jewsland. They'll have to retake that one. The ball was moving. Where it was taken.
The word coming in from Mobe is that it's Jean-Claudio Ferreira, the man with the equalizer. They're number 10 and set piece taker.
I think that's his second goal in as many games,
yeah,
I think.
You wonder if it is a penalty. We haven't seen confirmation of that, but he takes all of the penalties and the dead ball kicks for Mobe. Anyhow, they have found the equalizer. And based on what we are seeing, it is a penalty that was scored.
Green.
Yeah, it was.
Looking for options here. Well, a yellow card is going to be, well, no. Well, what? The Mount Pleasant player is down, and that's Bradford. We remind you to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store. So what's going to happen here? Well, they've been in a battle all afternoon, haven't they? Richard Brown and Shaquille Bradford. And I think Nicholson just wanted it to be quashed here and called Brown over to just say to give a friendly gesture to Bradford.
I don't think that will quash anytime
I'm
soon.
I'm not sure if that helps at all.
There's a lot on the line here. Just bragging rights at the current situation based on the scorelines that we've been discussing here, as that Cavalier, they have sort of strengthened their grip on top position based on current or live score. They're 3 points ahead of Mount Pleasant, and Portmore now in third position, just pushing Tivoli down to fourth point between the two.
Well, there's going to be a change made. Steve Clark is getting ready to come on for Tivoli Gardens. Could this be a game changer for the visitors? Janae, pitch side, what's happening down there?
We're supporting Tivoli, but you told me that you live in Stairtown, so how does that go?
Yeah, you know, as a traditional, I listen to what Tivoli, so I continue with the trend, you know.
So how comes not Mount Pleasant or Lima, somewhere closer to?
Yeah, we bought them different side, but if I play Tivoli, at Tivoli I go with.
Well, the score in this encounter, Tivoli does have the advantage, so I'm sure that you're a happy fan. Mount Pleasant is a team that you have to look out for, though. So do you think that they will get back?
Them not said no good side. They don't buy football, eat that ball and spend some money. They have to go with the side who, you know, progressive, you know. Go on good.
And it is a second versus third encounter. I talked to some fans before, and they think that Mount Pleasant will win. On the other hand, you think Tivoli will win. What is the edge that Tivoli has over Mount Pleasant?
Well, it's a penalty still, but forward no bad, and the centre for go on, you know. So look at edge more Mount Pleasant. Them not produce Mount Pleasant, you know. They're not good.
So like how you're in Jacks Hall now, does that mean that if we have a match at Anthony Spalding or Stadium East that you will be supporting Tivoli at those venues?
Yeah, man. I don't support Tivoli, said we. We're not so good.
Well, it sounds to me like we have a die-hearted supporter here. Franklin, talking to him over the fence, he is watching this encounter, and let's see how the rest of this match will go.
Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, it would have just been in recent times, and St. Anne would have had representatives in the Premier League. Of course, they would have had Black Stars before that, but in recent times, Mount Pleasant would have been the chief representative And of course, they've raised the flag high with winning the league, so they will get more supporters. But those supporters in past years would have been supporting other teams, especially those in Kingston.
Yeah. As you said, St. Anna's always had some form of representation. Limehall was Benfica before that. Do remember there was Brazil, who made a big statement at one point, but never really, none of those teams consistently producing.
I did mention Star Cosmos, but that's actually St. Miriam, not St. Anne, but Benfica.
But it's on the north coast here, close proximity, Star Cosmos, who is no more, who are no more.
There was another change made, by the way. Viginal Harris is on the park, replaces Nathan Thomas. Ball played over on that far side. Tivoli Gardens striding forward. Jones was asking for it, sends it across. A little bit too much on it. And it did go behind for a goal kick.
And as you see, Chris, off here, you know, with the substitution of Steve Clark coming in, Dunn has gone more central.
I like that.
Clark will have will turn the afterburners on as much as he possibly can.
Not 100% Clark. You could see he was getting treatment off the field.
Yeah.
Older now. I mean, it's not old, but yeah, I think he still has a bit of a thigh issue. Clark did score the double against Arnett Gardens, which was, well, a dream start for him. But I think we both agree that Dunn in that central role is where we are.
It's ideal, and Nelson didn't really affect or trouble the back line.
Yeah.
Well, is this also an opportunity to try and, well, for Mount Pleasant to try and go forward here? Because, in my opinion, Tivoli Gardens, they have thrown the final dice here, and here is Clark. Number of attacking players on the field for them. They'll get another corner kick, the visitors.
Yeah, the confirmation of substitution there with Clark for Nelson. And as I said, a rejinxing of stuff where Dunn has gone on the inside. And we give them different dynamics. He's a good header of the football as well, can play into the feet, back to goal. So, yeah,
plays with his feet very well, can pull deep, take the ball as well. But I just think, and a man who scored 11 goals so far in the season, the league's leading scorer, you want him in the best position to score. You want all the chances to come to him. And when he was deployed wide, he was just too far from the target for my liking.
It's going to be Shaquille Jones take this corner kick for Tivoli Gardens. At the near post, they managed to clear Mount Pleasant. Simpson picks it up. All the way back to Alton Lewis. Tivoli unable to go forward, so they'll have to go back before they can go forward. Richard Brown on it now. Not the best first touch on that occasion from Jones, but he recovers well. Harris, Clark couldn't quite capture it under his spell. Bradford with pace, trying to get by Richard Brown, who knows a thing or two about the dark arts of defending and does just enough there.
Nothing dark about that one though, but it was really good defending, really used the strength well. And once Bradford looked to turn the afterburners on, just a little nudge, but he showed that he's in the foot race as well, not going to be out sprinted, and definitely physically superior. Really good defending there. It's been a busy afternoon for Nicholson in the middle of the park. Both benches are really in high energy mode.
You think Tivoli Gardens will settle for a point here? I don't see them settling for a point based on the changes that they've made.
And the way they're going at it as well, to really looking to get the 3 points here.
Yeah, just too much. Dyer not happy with the call, but I think it was the right one from Nelson. Didn't just challenge for it, but went with the arm in the back of the head of Dunn. And again, officials looking to cut out the illegal use of arms, the overuse of the arm, especially in areas above the shoulder.
Yeah, and in the question about whether or not they'd settle for the draw. I don't think so too, because then even in the last maybe say 10 minutes or so, the bulk of the attacking has come from them, more consistent at least.
Their changes are attacking as well. They are positive. Jerome Waite, I don't
and more
think
impactful too on the game so far.
Yeah, it's not his style, especially at Neil Hall.
Howard Morris behind this for Tivoli Gardens. 3 players on the edge of the box sent inside the area. Davis comes out to punch away. Simpson sends it out wide. Tivoli Gardens trying to manufacture something here, but Mount Pleasant back in numbers. Here they come. Striding forward. They have a lot of space to work with. James on it. Looking for other runners. That's a delightful ball inside. A chance for Mount Pleasant here. And Richard Brown in the way to prevent the tap in there. And it's end-to-end stuff at the moment. Tivoli Gardens responding now. Mount Pleasant again having enough there at the back. The game is stretched.
Yeah, Howard Morris guilty of holding on to the ball way too long, and he had a pass out wide. It was Steve Clark who had pulled wide, and Morris just taking that extra touch. We spoke about that as well. Players taking too many touches instead of utilizing the ball, and they were guilty. I thought James was guilty as well. I thought he should have played the ball into Green's stride early, but it came to Aubrey in the end.
Green was looking for a foul. It wasn't going his way. But Tivoli Gardens again on quite a few occasions they've given up the ball also cheaply. And Shaquan Davis is just trying to get his team to settle down. And another player is down for Tivoli Gardens.
Seemed to be Simpson, but that break here, a lovely ball outside to Avery, but maybe the pass to Green was on much earlier. But a good ball inside again, and Bradford taught it by Brown. If you just have that change of pace.
Good vision to pick out Aubrey, but Aubrey, as you could see how wide he was, it actually put him more in a defensive position. He couldn't have taken the strike from here, whereas Green would have been coming into more of a central position where he could have had a strike on goal.
Ball switched over to the left-hand side. And James couldn't quite get there and committed the foul on Pennycook.
If only they could play at that, that pace, that openness then for the fans, for the neutral. Really a good look, but definitely still, despite no goals, a good watch and a good advert for the league.
Oh, he goes long. Aubrey is there, just too far in front of him. Almost caught it in his stride, but he's so skillful, Aubrey, but not skilled enough to get by the defender.
That was a raking pass, though. A lovely crossfield. Maybe just needed to take it on the chest. I don't know, he was going away from him.
McCullough sets it up for Dunn, or Dunn with a poor pass there as he tries to play it out wide. They're applying the pressure here at Tivoli Gardens. Davis has to bang it upfield quickly.
Certainly trust his footwork, Davis.
That he does. Pennycook now. Morris trying to send it out wide. Jones. Well, the throw goes the other way in favor of Mount Pleasant. And another Mount Pleasant player goes down. This is a SportsMax app moment of the game, courtesy of the SportsMax app, and it's the penalty that was saved by Shaquan Davis. Justin Dunn thought the clock struck 12 for him. He was looking for his 12th goal this season, but he was denied. by Shaquan Davis, moving smartly to his left, and that's SportsMax app moment of the game, courtesy of the SportsMax app.
Let's see what you like about the call for the penalty. Wasn't right, but still had to be saved. And he did well in doing that. And he has kept Mount Pleasant in this tie. Beatty has one more change up his sleeve. I see Fuller warming up on the sidelines. So definitely the intention is to try and win this one, you feel. Looking for their first win over Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, may come on for Shaquille Jones. That is definitely a possibility. But let's see what Jerome Waite has in mind.
Bygrave looking to come in as well for Mount Pleasant, so both teams intending on getting all 3 points. Being very
Bygrave.
positive. Huh?
Not just Bygrave as well, is that Rankin I see getting ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another Rankin.
Yeah.
That's a lovely take, you know. And the challenge coming in. Critical there.
Was as good as the take.
Yeah, what a take with the left foot. Beautiful.
He has some skill there over him.
Some size coming on too, with Rankin and Bygrave both imposing figures.
Good to be on for this corner kick, but that was about it. Yeah.
They're a bit late with the changes. It would suit them now. See, they're trying to get it done.
Here's the corner kick. Not the best again. Easily handled by the Tivoli Gardens defense, and now the changes are going to be made.
So substitution coming up from
You're right, by Jeremiah. Fuller is going to come on as well.
Daniel Green has been replaced
So
by
Rankin comes on for Mount Pleasant, replacing Daniel Green, and Bygrave comes on for Shaquille Bradford. More steel in the middle of the park and a change up front.
Yeah, they no longer need the added width, so hence Green will be removed, especially with Aubrey out there. And what will happen is James will pull the other side. So James will pull to the right with the removal of Green, and Bygrave will go into that central role.
It's Justin Dunn who's going to be coming off.
And runs off as well. So it just shows the attitude of this Tivoli team.
Wanting to win.
They want to win. Missed the penalty, Justin Dunn, unable to add to his 11 on the season.
So while Mount Pleasant, they decide not to go wide on an attacking front, Tivoli Gardens doing the opposite.
Yeah, they are.
So it's a surprise to you that they have kept Jones on.
Yes. But let's see how it plays out in the last 7 or so minutes. And Diego Houghton. They need some attention.
I think for the most part, for Mount Pleasant, Avery will be the main outlet.
Well, he switched flanks now. He's come on to the left-hand side, so he can cut in onto the right.
I've seen him operate off both, yeah.
James has gone to the right, so he can cut onto the left.
So it's more to get some, not really crosses into the box, but really attacking goal.
Yeah.
More inverted they are.
Shande James with the skills.
Ranking now. Phillips still directing traffic. Fired that one into James. Oh, he has lost it. Phillips. And it goes the other way. Tivoli Gardens coming forward. Well, he needs some support. He's now inside the box. He continues his run. He pulls it across, or tries to. And that was Fuller.
Yeah, nice pace from Nikolai Fuller. Really good pace on the wide side. And determined to take on the back line. Phillips couldn't recover. Just bounced off the challenge, did Fuller. He's always been a brave player, especially in the wide areas, Fuller.
Bygrave utilizing his strength well. This is James. Rankin. Aubrey asking for it, and he gets it. The dangerous young Trinidadian sends it inside. Brown was in the way. Poor ball on this occasion.
Yeah, trying to go through that half space when he should have gone out wide. And release earlier as well. When has he delayed that channel closed and made it much easier for Mount Pleasant, the retreating back line?
Yeah, another example of the delay tactic which doesn't work.
The James and James combination over on that far side working well. This is the Shandy version of it, looking for options. Back to the Nathaniel version, who touches it inside. Phillips inside the area, looking for Bygrave. It's over with the header. Couldn't get much purchase behind it.
Yeah, I want to shot his play on the part, but it was behind Bygrave, so he had to go for it. Turnover again from Clark and Tivoli. No, it's Mount Pleasant's turn to have a consistent spell of attacking.
Bygrave went over too easily, I felt there. But Mount Pleasant, they win it back. Phillips with some space to work in. There's Phillips, ball inside. Horton collects. Trying to, I think he was trying to set free Clark, but nowhere near Clark. So they invite more pressure. James, Aubrey. The referee gives a free kick just outside the 18-yard box.
And I think McCullough will be very much interested in this one. We've seen him deliver some good balls into the box.
I just think that's too soft, gentlemen. I'm sorry. Aubrey, with his size, looking to go around Simpson, just bulldozer himself around. How?
Well, let's see here whether or not he went into the park.
Just look at this here. Just turns here.
No.
Come on, no.
I think I'm going to slightly disagree with you.
Yeah,
there was
because
a shove there.
I think he moved across the line. If he holds his ground, then you're fine not to call it. But did go across his path, not trying to win the ball, just to block him going forward.
Yeah, I'm fine with that call.
So it's not the worst.
Phillips behind it, James behind it as well for Mount Pleasant. Always a conversation between these two.
Could be a McCullough moment.
Let's see. It's Phillips. That's a wonderful ball! And there it is! It is a McCullough moment! Sule McCullough again and again and again! And he is Captain Fantastic after all! He has left it late for Mount Pleasant on their home turf in this battle with Tivoli Gardens. And it's 1-0, so very close to the death.
Well, the delivery was perfect, and call me a prophet if you want. The name is Jeremiah, and search me up in the Bible, but did say could be a McCullough moment, and it was a delivery from Phillips, and he found himself, like he always does, into acres of space. And wow, what a finish from him. Just cushioned that ball into the box, into the net. Lovely ball inside. And McCullough, yes, a McCullough moment, we did call it. Prophet or guru in terms of prediction. Yeah, it's right here in the SportsMax box because, yeah, everything seems to suit McCullough. And from that spot, once again, he has delivered.
5th goal of the season for Sule McCullough. It's almost as if he does it by himself in bearing the responsibility of digging his team out of trouble. Won the championship last term in the final with a couple of goals at Sabina Park. And yet again, with just a couple of goals in this contest, proving to be the difference maker for this team.
But you wonder for Tivoli, what were they thinking? I mean, this is a man that has proven that in these moments, he will get his head onto that. He will find a way. And he was free. Totally free inside there, and we see Ladair Ritchie coming to it, so that's intending for Mount Pleasant that, look here, we're going to take what we have here. It's only about a minute in regular time, so let's get Ritchie in there with his experience and his ability to defend, to really shore up these 3 points for them.
Yeah, big mistake for Tivoli, but they have been known to score late, Tivoli. Don't forget that match against Arnett Gardens, that come from behind victory. So until that final whistle, they will be pushing. But I agree with you, Dwight Jeremy. In the 6-yard area as well. Is it a situation where even Diego Horton might be thinking that maybe he should have come out a bit and command his ear? The pace on the cross from Phillips, though, on the delivery from Phillips was excellent.
It was really good, but he needed pressure on McCullough.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to. He just had to, whether you nudge him while he's in the air, but he just cushioned it.
Could stand his ground there, though.
Yeah, he had to come. The goalkeeper was so close. It was a cushioned header. Yeah, he just redirected it.
2-3. The pace on it from Phillips was perfect.
5 minutes indicated for time to be added on at the end of this one.
By the way, Bygrave has received a yellow card, so he's in the referee's book now. Attack for Bygrave. And yep, 5 minutes of stoppages to be played. They're going to make another change, Mount Pleasant. Ladale Ritchie, the former captain, is getting ready to come on for the home team.
Maybe trying to thwart what Chris just said about Tivoli wanting and having the tendency to score late.
James, trying to win it back, was challenged. Fuller was clipped.
Yeah.
Free kick to Tivoli Gardens.
It was late by the referees. Judgment there.
So the change to be made now by Mount Pleasant. And Nathaniel James is coming off.
No problem with that. I think he has impacted the game as much as, but you can see why now. It's a matter of just shoring up things, and James taking his time. Referee Nicholson will tell him to take the shortest route off the park, which is to his fans in that far side.
He knows the tricks of the trades already for a young man.
That's what you want to see from them. It's an indication that they can make that transition.
Tivoli, they know how to snatch it at the end, and they're still in need of a point, in want of a point. Pennycook, was he cut down? No. Referee says that there was ball there. Bygrave, ranking, back to Bygrave, and he's lost it. Oh, Bygrave does well, but Horton is right there. And there was a high boot call against Bygrave. Rankin winning it, and the referee saying that he did so illegally.
Just to let you know, as you see that Mount Pleasant has taken the lead here, Umberland they have taken the lead against Montego Bay now 2-1.
Clark has lost it, McCullough has it, finding Aubrey, two bearing down on him, trying to get by Brown, and Brown overpowering him. Now it's with Steve Clark. Clark. Oh, lovely from Steve Clark in getting by McCullough. Has Ritchie, or tries to move away from Ritchie, and then transmission went out.
And that's a good thing, because Ritchie on the park now, it keeps the other central defenders even more central. Doesn't have to pull them outside. Once McCullough gets beaten, you would normally probably have a central defender coming out wide. Doesn't have to, in terms of Dyer and Doxley being able to stay inside. And then you have another in the third, like Ritchie, coming outside but still having protection inside. Didn't matter in the end because Clark didn't get the ball across. But that's the extra protection that Ritchie has come onto the park to deliver for Mount Pleasant.
Ritchie goes long, but ball is given away. Oh, that's dangerous. But Davis will collect. He had to judge that one well.
And we're in the fourth of the fifth minute. And this one, Tivoli looks like they're going to have to wait again for a chance to get their first win over Mount Pleasant. Oh, likely they'll be in the playoffs, so we'll know what the matchup will be.
We speak of the man of the match again, and you know, after a while we're going to have to rename the man of the match a Sunday McCullough Award.
Every time Mount Pleasant plays, at least at home.
Yes. So, agreement?
Yeah, I am for that for sure. I mean, in a game like this, Davis was quite good in saving the penalty, but throughout the game, the captain really has been on the park here, doing a lot of the work, doing some work playing the left back position, but inverting and becoming a central or a CDM at times. So really good work.
Rankin in the way. Bygrave is ahead of him. Has Overy for company. Had too many options. And Fuller coming across, providing the block.
Rankin played the wall pass with his opponent.
By the way, in stoppage time, Lions have scored another Javon Brown classic. 2-1 they lead Treasure Beach in 90+2.
Some would say expected. Treasure Beach during the bottom of the table did make a fight of it. But
they've been looted quite a few times in the final few minutes of games, haven't they?
Lions?
Treasure Beach.
Yeah,
both.
It was twice against Harbourview, scored after 90 minutes for them to lose 2-0.
Time ticking away here. Corner kick to Mount Pleasant. I suspect that they'll try to keep it in the corner.
But it's
and they don't have to keep it for long. That's the end of the game. And it was a hard-fought contest. And as ever, the difference maker, Sule Makala, the one who wears the captain's armband and the team on his sleeves, well, came up trumps once again. Shaquan Davis did his best in goal, denying Justin Dunn from getting his 12th goal, as it came from the penalty spot, the opportunity. But at the end of the day, well, it's a big result. Mount Pleasant with maximum 3 points. Full-time score, Mount Pleasant 1, Tivoli Gardens 0.
Full match highlights then, and yeah, Okita Nicholson in charge of this one. Mount Pleasant driving forward there at home. The first half wasn't very exciting. Lots of midfield play and miscued shots. Nathaniel James on that occasion, the guilty party. Driving forward again. This one now Kimoni Bailey, well blocked. And really cancelling out each other in the middle of the park in the first 45 were these two. And no goals in it as well. This Shaquille Bradford getting into the box, and a strike there which came off more his heel, and it was easily shut down from Tivoli Gardens, putting bodies on the line. Then this moment, a penalty. Okita Nicholson pointing to the spot in the second half. Said it came off the hand of Fitzroy Cummins. It certainly didn't, and maybe justice done as Justin Dunn had his penalty saved by Shaquan Davis. A brilliant save with the left hand by Davis. The Mount Pleasant bench were off it on its feet. Big moment for them, and as I said, probably deserved considering it shouldn't have been a penalty in the first place. Then this shot from distance, Davis made it look spectacular, but it was pretty routine for a keeper of his quality. Odin Pennicook from distance, who has surprised so far this season in scoring 3, maybe thought he could get even more expressive. Then Overy in the wide area, drilling this one across, and Richard Brown was there to say no to Shaquille Bradford. Until this moment, from the dead ball, Demario Phillips, as he does so many times, and Sule Makala, the captain, the fantastic one, rising to the occasion and directing it into the roof of the net. 5 goals on the season for Sule Makala. Wow. And all of them at critical times, 4 critical points to gain critical results. 1-0 Mount Pleasant yet again. They have done the double, Mount Pleasant. Both the Bob Marley score lines. 2 shots on target from 10 attempts for Mount Pleasant. The same in terms of on target from Tivoli Gardens, but just the 4 attempts. There are some 27 fouls between the two. 18 fouls for Mount Pleasant and 4 yellow cards shown by Okito Nicholson. 3 corners for Mount Pleasant. Tivoli Gardens, they had a lot of attacking play. 8 corners, but unable to really penetrate the defence of Mount Pleasant, and they came up blank on this afternoon. Majority of the possession to Mount Pleasant and a big 3 points. Second defeats third, and that's it from the Jacks Hall Sports Complex here. Mount Pleasant 1, Tivoli Gardens 0. We'll hear from our man of the match, no other than Captain Fantastic, who is with Dwight Jeremiah.
Sula, ever so often, every time I come to Jacks Hall and do a match, Mount Pleasant plays, I stand before you as man of the match. For me, everybody sees what you do in terms of getting onto the end of the ball and scoring. But I want to dig a little bit inside. What goes in your head, when these moments arrive?
These games like these, you know, most likely it always come down to a set piece. And we've been practicing from training that during these games that we want to make set piece be the decider. And so I normally step up for my team. So it's just that something that inside of me, like to step up in these big moments.
And we realize that you do that so well. But you have to be one of the main men in this set play. Is there a strategy for Mount Pleasant to have players block persons who are coming to you? Because you always seem to find yourself in a lot of space.
Well, not necessarily. It's just we just practice some runs, and if the ball come into my area, you know, I just try to get on it.
It was a big game today. Second against third. How important this win is in terms of bragging rights, not just the 3 points?
It's very important. You know, most of all, we want to keep climbing the table, and these games, like, we want to take 3 points from these games because the table is very close at the top.
Well, we put our money on you scoring just before the kick game. You helped us to win our money. All the best going forward,
all right,
Makala.
thank you.
Yeah, there we have it, Makala. Really good performance from him. And today, yeah, we did call it. It's that man that steps up at the big moment and to deliver for his team. We're not going to start with the goal you conceded, but just give me your take on your team's performance today.
It was basically, I would classify it as being mediocre. This team can play far, far better. Today, it was basically our half day. We should at least leave here with a point. Dunn, who got that chance, had got the rebound and still didn't capitalize. But in the end, kudos to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, kudos to them. You talk about the penalty. I mean, our replay showed that he came off the shoulder, but yeah, he should have finished. But maybe you feel that your team didn't create enough when they were in the ascendancy?
No, if you notice, two good team. And if you notice, chances were few today. I mean, you have to understand, once quality teams meet, you will not see so many clear opportunities. Today, that basically happened.
What did you learn from your team most today?
We need to concentrate some more. I mean, that goal in the last third, Makala is one of the players who always come up big, you know, in the dying moments from crosses, and he shouldn't be left unmarked.
Well, Coach, we love watching Tivoli. They're easy on the eye going forward. All the best going.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, there you have it. Former Coach Tivoli walking away from here without a point. Jerome Waite here, Coach Waite. Disappointed he felt it was an off moment. We didn't get a chance to talk with you before the game. You're here with us post-game. Makala, one word. Tell me about this player.
Well, again, before we go to Makala, I think it was a rough time just few minutes before the game because Davian lost his mom. You know, so during that time we were there consoling right before the game. You know, but I think the guys, they go out there this afternoon and they perform. I think we dedicate this one to Davian. You know, again, Makala is someone who lead both on and off the pitch. So what Makala is doing now is no surprise to us. I think it's a continuation of the final.
All right, in recent times you've played a lot of games, tough games, having to come from behind. But rank this opponent today in terms of the list of opponents you've played so far. Arguably one of the toughest games you've played.
Well, yes, I think we know the Tivoli threat. You know, if you look on the leading goal scorer, which is done, he didn't get any chance at our goal to say. I think we limit that. But I think we could do well, better off in our final third this afternoon. You know, in terms of the combination play and using the wide areas. I think we were going horizontal
too much. You know, we need to go direct and run at the Tivoli defense.
One of the things that must be pleasing today with your performance, the last 2 games before this, you conceded early goal, having to come from behind to get a point and then 3 points. That must be pleasing today to see you more defensively sound.
Well, yes, it's good to keep a clean sheet, you know, and at the other end, we can convert our chance we get. I think I must say a big shout out to Shaquan Davis this afternoon on that penalty save that's kept us in the game.
Well, in closing, I just want to say from the SportsMax family, just send our condolences to Coach Ferguson on the passing of his mom, and
all
hopefully stay strong with that. Stay strong with that.
Man.
All the best.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's take a look at what's happened so far in the Jamaica Premier League on match week 19. Dundee Holden with a 4-1 win over Limehall. Mount Pleasant 1-0 over Tivoli Gardens. Humberline with a 2-1 victory over Montego United. Portmore United edging Harbourview by a 0-0. 2-2 between Treasure Beach and Malines United. Both teams leaving it late to score the final 2 goals there. Cavalier leading Veer United close to full time, 2-0, and of course the late kickoff game, Waterhouse and Anigans. We haven't seen a goal in that one as yet. As we take a look at the live table, just remember that a couple of these games are still going on, but based on the scoreline, this is how it looks. Cavalier on top on 43 points, a point ahead of Mount Pleasant. Portmore United now in 3rd spot on 39 points. Tivoli Gardens in 4th on 37. And Gardens and Waterhouse running out the top 6. Waterhouse with the live points on 27 points, same as Dundee Holden, who had moved into the top 6 with victory earlier today over Limehall. And you can see Montego United would have dropped a couple of points with that drawn result. Montego United with that loss. Sorry, they would have dropped massive points with that loss over Humberline, who would have now closed that gap. They are now on 21 points. So yeah, the battle for the playoff spot very much on in earnest. On Tuesday, Inter Milan meet up with Atletico Madrid. The San Siro, SportsMax 2, the Champions League. Match time 3 o'clock, pre-game show at 2 o'clock Jamaica time. Then Napoli, they go up against Barcelona. Wednesday afternoon, 3 o'clock Jamaica time, 4 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean. And you can watch that on SportsMax 2 as well. Well, it's been an absolute privilege carrying this one to you, just reminding you of the final score. Mount Pleasant 1, Tivoli Gardens 0. We knew that there was an area that we couldn't describe over Mount Pleasant just before the start of the game. At the end of it, we're told that the mother of Davian Ferguson, one of their coaches, passed away. And, well, hopefully he can have a smile on his face this evening in the aftermath of Mount Pleasant's 1-0 win over Tivoli Gardens. But commiserations to him and his family, as well as the extended Mount Pleasant family in the aftermath of that news. On behalf of producer Ramon Stewart, director Michael Edwards, Janae, Chris, Jermaine, all inside the commentary box, I'm Donald Oliver saying goodbye from the Garden Parish of St. Anne.